baby.
Huh.
Give them the podcast or give them the website.
EnergyIsLovePodcast.com.
Oh my God, you always forget the .com.
Because I feel like .com is known.
You don't need the www, but you still need the .com because
Why?
There's .nets, there's .biz, there's
Yeah, then you clarify.
.org, there's
Then you clarify.
something or another.
Then you clarify.
So you need the
If you
.com.
don't clarify, then it's obvious that it's com.
You need it. You need the .com.
.com.
There you go. EnergiesLovePodcast.com. At that website, you'll find all the information for where you can download, listen, and subscribe to the greatest show in the universe.
.com.
It's the greatest show in the universe.
It is.
How much weight do you give to that idea that we like shoot stuff out radio waves and then somewhere in the far off distance, people hear it?
Is that why I need to clarify .com?
Yeah.
Because theirs might be
The aliens could be looking up some other website, internet.
I think their Google might be more powerful than ours, so
It's called Boogle.
so it'll be okay. They'll find
Boogaloo.
it. They'll find it. I will practice my .coms.
In the meantime, if you are interested in donating / supporting / giving us money to buy new microphones for the podcast that we are secretly, we're not really in need of them. I have just coveted them for a very long time. But you can go do that donating / supporting at that website. Scroll to the bottom and click the donate. I think it's donate or support. I don't remember which. Anywho, send us some cash and we will send you a free hug in the mail in 4 to 6 weeks. So this
Shipping
is
not included.
shipping. No, it's actually you have to pay for shipping. It's COD. Check on, what is it? Check on demand. Check on arrival.
Cash on
Arrival. Anyways,
cash on delivery. It's delivery.
Delivery. Cash on delivery.
Because nobody does that.
No, that's not a thing anymore. Anywho, thank you for listening and tuning in. This is the last week, I think, if I remember right, if I'm doing my math correctly. If you're listening to this episode on the day that it comes out, you still have the opportunity to go and sign up for the Everyman Fundamentals course that is available through the website. So if you go to energieslovepodcast.com, click on partners, scroll down, you'll see Everyman. There you go. Go read about it, go learn about it, and then go sign up for their fundamentals course. It's a 6-week program. I cannot speak highly enough about Everyman and the work that they do. This podcast specifically that you're listening to, if you go back to episode 95, you can hear an interview with one of the founders of Everyman, Dan Doty. And then as I scroll, I tried to do all of this before we pushed record, but there's too many episodes. There's been a handful of episodes where I have either talked to men involved with Everyman or talked at great length about Everyman. Kind of gives you an idea what it's all about. I'm looking for that one that I did last year with all those guys. It was episode 139, unpacking what it means to be a good man. This was recorded after an Everyman event in Massachusetts one weekend. Had a bunch of guys involved with Everyman on that episode. And then really recently, we had Andrew on the podcast. Oh my goodness, I don't remember what that episode was. Hold on. Hold on, everybody pause.
Find it.
And it is episode 163, Knowledge, Experience, and Integration with Andrew Kippen. Andrew is also closely involved with Everyman. Those give you some ideas, if you go back and listen to those episodes, what Everyman is all about. And then, like I said, their fundamental course is basically them condensing their work over the past several years. It's really over the past 40 plus years because Owen Marcus is one of the founders of Everyman. And he's also involved with this fundamentals course. So go sign up for it. Go do that if you haven't already. And I promise that you will become a better version of what you are right now and potentially change your life. When I found Everyman back in 2017, that seems about right.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. When I found Everyman in 2017,
I think it was.
My life shifted and changed from that point forward, without a doubt.
It did. Wow. That's a long time.
It is a long time ago. But anyways, go to the website, energieslovepodcast.com, and click on that partnership tab up top, and you'll find the link to go to Everyman and learn all about their 6-week fundamental course. Okay, my love. Beautiful, beautiful woman. This is episode
79.
179.
I don't know. Tell me I'm right. That'd be so awesome.
This is episode 178. So close.
Always go with the 8s. I know better.
Always go with the 8s. And on this week's episode, we are talking about Furbies and sage and dragons and frogs.
So other than the Furbies, you're just listing off things that we have.
Dolphins.
On
We
our,
also discussed dolphins in this episode.
Our dresser in our room.
And
What else is up
perhaps
there?
alligator jasper.
I don't see an alligator.
Well, there's some jasper over there.
There is some jasper.
It's
but
a
where's the
really
alligator?
in-depth episode discussing the things that are on our dresser. So stay tuned if you want to learn about what all the things are.
Minus the Furbies.
No, I bet you.
Is there a Furby?
I guarantee there's a Furby somewhere on that fucking dresser.
Oh, you're such a shit.
But
All right, mister.
turn it up, relax, sit back, push play, share the podcast, tell a neighbor, all those wonderful good things.
Don't forget .com.
Don't forget .com, and here we go.
You're listening to the Energy is Love podcast.
Energy is love.
The Energy is the Love podcast.
The Energy is Love podcast.
Energy is love.
The Energy is Love podcast.
The podcast for the universe.
The Energy is Love podcast.
Bum, bum, bum,
Are
bum.
you going to sing?
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. This is the new intro music for the podcast.
I love
bum,
it.
Bum, bum, bum,
Shit.
bum.
Oh my God. Can I do my Dory?
Yeah, do your Dory.
You'll leave it in.
I will leave it.
I
in.
know. I just forget it.
Energy. It's middle of the week, love.
Wednesday. It is.
Yeah, it's the
It
middle
is.
of the week, and we are
what?
we are so dedicated to this podcast that as we speak and as we sit here and record, we are in a house. It's our house. We are in a house
In the middle of a street.
Anyways, baby, duh.
What? I'm sorry.
It squirreled me.
I'm
now.
sorry.
I don't know what I was going to say.
We are in our house,
We are
dedicated.
in our house, and there's no one else here.
Oh my God.
So
This is our sex time.
it is our sex time, but nope.
Nope,
we
we're
are
recording.
showing up for you, the listener, Barb, and recording an episode of the
You're
podcast
welcome.
when we really should be naked right now in the mad throes passion of sex making.
Should we just get naked and then record?
Yeah, we keep teasing that. One of these days, somebody's
we?
going to call us out on it.
But really?
And be like, you guys
Well,
really need to record an episode naked.
Because how would they know?
well,
They don't know that we're just pretending like, should we get naked?
The only
Because
way-
we're not.
I think we'll record an episode naked when we can take a picture. So, because you can post appropriately and placement of microphones in such a way that it'll be obvious that you're naked, but yet, you know,
Sweetheart,
it won't get flagged on
we
Instagram.
are going to need a bigger mic. Okay.
So, yeah, we're dedicated podcasters.
We are. You're welcome.
Takes a lot of work. You are welcome, folks.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing on the agenda, sweetheart?
On mine, I don't know what yours is. On mine, whether or not it's the first thing, no particular order, it just happens to be what I typed, is great balls of lightning.
Great balls of
Great
lightning.
balls of lightning.
You know what's hilarious?
What's that?
As I was doing some things in the bathroom this morning.
Really? Oh, I can't wait to see where this goes.
Fixing some stuff. I was thinking about us recording today, and I was thinking about how we needed to talk about balls of lightning because you don't
Yes.
know what they are. And then I was thinking about literally that being the name of the episode.
Are you serious?
Great balls of lightning.
Well, it's got to be then.
I don't know.
How can you not know? How much more synchronistic do you need to get?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, what do you know about balls of lightning?
I know what I saw on that video yesterday. I now know they're real. I was like, oh, wow. You know, it was on the train tracks first. And I'm thinking, is it like because the lightning hit the train track and it kind of traveled up because metal's a conductor? It makes sense. It's still safe. And it was just kind of like shooting along the train tracks. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so scary. And then it left the train tracks and you had this electrical orb, the sphere of death, I don't know, that started traveling along the grass and down the little slope. and towards the trees. And then I panicked a little. Like, how do you know? I did not know you had to look on the ground for balls of lightning that can come take you out. I suddenly felt like I was in a pinball game and all bets were off. Nothing was safe. I feel super connected with, the eye contact that we have right now.
That jerk story. I was looking up some more ball lightning stuff.
And then I started panicking. Like, first of all, it's brand new information. So I don't want to hear any crap about panicking that now I'm afraid of balls of lightning. Yes, I am. I am. So it is there.
So you've never heard of them before?
I've never heard of them. And it looked like a beautiful orb. Like, if you didn't know, you would think, wow, that's so cool. Somebody caught that. Look at that orb going. And then, but it's not. It's death. It's death going across.
I don't know if
into
it's
the tree.
death.
I'm pretty sure if you get hit by a ball of lightning, it's not going to be, unless you're that dude from the great outdoors that can take it time and time again, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be okay. And then my next question was, how often does that happen? Is there an area where, like, I'll never be near train tracks again during a lightning storm? That's for sure. But, like, how often are they? Is this just a known thing that I didn't know? And how many can happen at once? Do they all gravitate towards you? Do you just look up and they're just like coming at you like a stampede? It could
herd of ball lightning.
A herd of ball lightning. So that's where my mind went. I'm like, shit, how high can I jump and how far? Can I, like, clear these things? Or am I just, like, gonna, I don't know.
Come tumbling down.
Probably.
So I'm going to read you some things on ball lightning. First off, if you don't know what it is, you're not alone, because Stephanie didn't know what it is, and neither do I really. So the actual existence of lightning ball, or ball lightning, I'm just going to start over.
All I can think of is balls.
Wait, cut,
lightning.
Pause, 3, 2, 1.
It's electric.
The actual existence of lightning ball phenomena is not proven, but appears in a variety of accounts over the centuries. Until the 60s, most scientists treated reports of ball lightning skeptically, despite numerous accounts from around the world. What causes lightning balls?
Let's find this.
Somebody, I don't know who.
Thank you, so I know how to avoid it.
His theory also proposes that ball lightning is caused when leftover ions / electric energy, which are very dense, are swept to the ground following a lightning strike.
Oh.
Other theories have suggested ball lightning is created by slowly burning particles of silicon formed in a lightning strike. But this is flawed. I'm not going to read further to find out why.
How do you avoid that? I thought you were going to give me some useful tips.
Here's one. Ball lightning usually moves parallel to the earth, but it takes vertical jumps. Sometimes it descends from the clouds, but other times it suddenly materializes either indoors or outdoors.
Oh my God.
Or enters a room through a closed or open window.
Closed or open, okay.
Through thin non-metallic walls or through the chimney.
Oh, jeez. Okay. We don't have a chimney. That is the only thing we have going for us. We don't have a chimney. Thank God. Sorry for all you people with a chimney. You are 10 out of 10 fucked. So, God. They can just come in the house. You can just be walking like, oh my God.
Yeah, you should start Googling if you're listening. Go to YouTube and just start searching some ball lightning, and you'll see some fun videos. I'm certain.
I don't know if I watch the videos, if that's going to help me have enough information. You know, what is that? To be forewarned is to be forearmed thing, or if am I not saying it right?
That was not English. No.
Okay.
Try again.
No.
To be forewarned is to be
forearmed.
Forearmed.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Well, apparently you don't move through life with enough anxiety.
You have 4 arms.
No, not you are. Okay. Will it help ease having that much information, or is it just going to turn me into a basket case that all of a sudden I have this irrational fear and I'm like running around just jumping sporadically thinking one might appear under me? This might be where I go crazy.
Yeah. I would not recommend you go look for videos of ball lightning.
You don't think I'll find peace in it somewhere?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
I don't at all.
Well,
I think you'll find panic and chaos and, like you said,
rubber boots. I need rubber boots. Screw the Mike's Barb. Give me some nice thick rubber boots, and I'm just going to wear those forever. My feet are going to be so pruned.
So it's a neat phenomenon.
Rubber boots. It is.
Right? And it's apparently a real thing.
I know.
And that's kind of cool to think that there's just balls of lightning crawling around on the ground, sporadically appearing out of nowhere.
It's something. It's something.
It is something. Can you think of the craziest thing that you've seen that is like some sort of natural phenomenon. Bum, bum, banana, mana.
I had lightning strike. Maybe that's why I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember being in a hammock in the backyard and a beautiful day, deciding I was going to do homework outside in a hammock.
At our house?
Where's our hammock, babe?
Okay. Sorry.
So probably not.
At the other house? Okay.
When I was growing up, my childhood home. And out of nowhere, there was this sound. There was this blast, and there was this like hump on my body. And it took me a minute to get my wits and realize lightning just struck the tree. Not the tree that was hanging from the hammock. It was a tree that was farther away, so I didn't die.
Not the tree that was hanging from the hammock?
Shut up. That's what happens. The hammocks hold the trees up in place. This is common knowledge.
So it didn't strike the tree that you were currently in?
Yes, it was about, I don't know. So the tree, okay, maybe you can help me with distance because men are known for their excellent measurement skills. The hammock and the trees.
I'm just going to let that one go, but go ahead. The hammock and the tree.
I don't think I can stop laughing now.
You're going to be measuring something later, I guarantee it. Go ahead.
Here's Johnny will not be an accident.
How's that? How big do you think that is? What's the distance there?
I want to need it. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I'm okay. I'm not okay.
So you're in the tree.
No, I'm not in the tree. I'm in the hammock.
Yes, the
It
hammock
is
that's
strung
in the
between
tree.
two trees.
Okay.
As all hammocks should be. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
We're going to presume that the trees are separated about 5 to 6 feet apart.
Something like that.
Okay.
Oh man, it hurts. Like I am just okay. Those trees, those pear trees that held the hammock, not the opposite as earlier described, is by the little shed in the backyard that's by the dog run.
Okay.
So that's where those ones are. And then the tree that got struck by lightning is down. It's by the garage. So the white garage.
Okay.
So the entrance of that tree's been taken out. Not because of the lightning, although it did kind of make it go split. But that's where the tree was. So that distance, just that side yard distance, how long do you think it is?
30 to 40 feet.
Okay, that seems about accurate. I'm going to measure it. I burped.
So that's the distance.
So that's the distance.
That's pretty close.
That's pretty close, right? So it was enough that I felt like a boom.
The concussion.
Like I felt the concussion. I felt the boom. And that was scary shit, right? So I decided at that point that homework was bad and I never shall do it again. That's what happened. I started doing homework and lightning rained down from the heavens and split trees and like, thou shalt not. And I said, okay.
Did you see a flash or anything? Or did you just feel it?
I believe, I don't remember exactly. Like I'm kind of remembering a flash, but I don't know if I'm remembering a flash or if I'm remembering that there should be a flash because it was pretty, what the fuck? You know? So I remember it was super, like this sound was intensive. It was so loud. I can't even, I could sit here and bam, boom, kapowie.
Yes, you could. Let's do that some more. I like these sound effects. Tell me more about the lightning sound.
But the thing that got me the most is I felt like I was hit. Like I felt like something hit me and I was just terrified. So it was that moment of like,
sheer panic.
like, I'm dead. I died. I'm dead. But then, I think I called my mom at work and probably scared the shit out of her. But I don't know. My parents had a fun kid. They didn't believe me until they came home and saw that the tree had literally been struck by lightning. And then I was like, oh.
They didn't believe you?
Well, I said the lightning struck right by me. And I don't know. I felt boom. They were probably like, yeah, you're okay, sweetheart. You know how kids tend to over exaggerate.
Yeah.
And then they come home and they're like, well, shit, look at that. Like that happened.
Was it raining? Or was it just out?
No, it wasn't raining. Cause I went out with my homework. So books, try to not do homework with books outside in water. Well, that's also a way to get out of homework. So I decided just to bring down lightning.
Yes.
So
I don't think I've ever had that close of an encounter with lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love lightning though.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like is so fascinating and fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I can think of plenty of times where just beautiful thunderstorms, like in the springtime, summertime, and so, like we live in a valley where you can, depending on where you're at, you've got beautiful views sometimes of just super amazing lightning strikes out in the middle of nowhere, and I love it.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's pretty, or is it always panic? And
I think I still get I can appreciate its beauty, and I can see it off in the distance, and I appreciate its beauty. But you know, I think it makes sense of why I learn about lightning balls, and I'm like, well, because you know, that's a kind of a traumatic experience.
it is.
And then you know, I grew up with the lightnings being fire, so no, it's been a later in life thing where I've been able to appreciate lightning a little bit more.
Yeah.
Until I discovered lightning balls, and then back to square one.
No, it's all dead to you.
No, back to lightning. I'm gonna be like that old guy, great outdoors. Hear lightning, be like, just take cover, not even know where.
You're cute.
It didn't say anything about closets. Maybe I'll like just huddle in a closet with. I need a rubber closet.
A rubber closet.
Yeah, and then we can all just huddle in the rubber closet every time we hear a little bit of thunder cracking. Is that why Garth Brooks said thunder rolls?
Thunder rolls.
Got it.
And the balls of lightning crash.
I did not think I was going to be able to talk about great balls of lightning
So
this long.
You did a great job.
You're welcome.
So they're fascinating. Go find them. Do you have something else on your list real quick? I shouldn't say real quick. But...
your question was like a natural phenomenon that was like the most craziest thing. Lightning was all I had. I don't know if there's more. My brain can't conjure it up at the moment. But what about you?
I don't think so. I was thinking while you were talking, and I mean,
so that was active listening. Okay.
Yeah, I was actively thinking while you were talking. I couldn't recall anything that stood out other than just like, you know, storms and crazy hell sometimes, or, you know, just all that weird random stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not very strange. It's just weather.
It's none of that just happened kind of thing.
No, I can't think of anything that stands out.
Other than your paranormal earthquake?
Yeah, earthquakes are a thing that I've been through. I've experienced an earthquake or two in my life. But no.
Oh, that was a big swallow.
Nothing too exciting.
Yeah. Okay.
What's next on your list?
What I did one, you do one. What's on your list?
Oh, You do one, I do one. We'll take turns. Mine's kind of a big one.
Oh,
and it's this weird thought-provoking thing that so I'm a fan.
You're fun.
I'm a fan.
You fun? Is that a dog? A dog.
I'm a fan of Russell Brand.
Oh, okay.
And I used to like his podcast until he went behind a paywall. So now I don't listen to his podcast anymore. But I still follow him, and I still see some of his stuff. And he'll post clips from his podcast. And he recently had one, and I have no idea who the hell the woman was. And I should have wrote down her name so that I could remember who she was. I didn't. So I have no idea. I can't direct you to anything to listen to.
Russell Brand's
That's
podcast. Where you start.
But you have to pay for it because he's...
What about the clip that you found?
Yeah, you could go to his social media. I think it was on Instagram and or Facebook.
See, you gave him direction.
There you go.
You provided a map.
I should just pull it up so then I know the lady's name, but I'm not going to sit and do that.
Yeah, just talk about it.
She was talking about...
Interesting.
The stuff that we hide in society. So society hides some things, and we don't really see
Society
them.
hides things, or
well, the idea is, and I'm going to butcher all of it because I'm not trying to recount what she said or what they were discussing, just what it sparked in my mind. And the idea is that we hide things in society that we don't really look closely at. Things like where we get our food, where we get our energy, and what we do with our waste.
True.
And those three things. Pause momentarily for coffee.
I'll try and... Yeah.
We got that down.
Bam.
Those three things we don't, like, I don't know. I know where our energy comes from in the sense that, like, Rocky Mountain Power gives us our power and our electricity, and then we have
coal burning, carbon emissions.
Yeah, but what does that look like, right?
It looks like...
What's the process
global
of
warming.
that?
It looks like it burns.
Okay. You lightning girl. That's
a nice name. I think I'll take it.
That's the whole idea behind what she was talking about was we don't really understand where this stuff comes from or where our food comes from. Even just, I mean, bananas, for example. We live in Utah right now, and you can't grow a banana in Utah right now.
They come from Solbergs.
You can't even grow a banana, 6 months from now in the middle of the summertime. So something is taking place somewhere and is bringing us bananas.
I think I have more of an answer for this one. Anyways, continue.
Where are our bananas from, smartass?
The monkey lands. I don't know. We're like the South. Like they're
are they
Chiquita.
From, are they even from
Chiquita
the United
and Dole.
States?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Okay, so maybe I don't have an answer. I think they
know.
are from overseas.
But does it make sense?
Product of Mexico. Does Mexico have bananas?
I don't know.
Okay, fair point, mister. I don't know where the hell bananas come from.
Right. And then
I just see cute little monkeys eating bananas.
Slaughterhouses and meat and chicken and
I know where
all
that
this
stuff.
kind of stuff. Right?
I do turn a blind eye to that.
We do. We don't care. We don't look at it.
No, it's not that I don't care. It's I don't look because I do care and it'll mess me up.
Yeah. She also had some numbers and some statistics where obviously we're the biggest number of things on this planet, right?
Yes.
We have
Are we?
Yeah, like organisms. I shouldn't say organisms because then you've got like the small microscopic stuff and they definitely out. But animals, the majority of animals on the planet today are in captivity, meaning, and captivity isn't the right word, but they're domesticated animals. So it used to be, obviously, back in the day, the majority of animals were wild animals. Yes. That's no longer the case. Now they're all domesticated.
That's sad.
Because of how we get our food and how we, do you know what I mean? All the different ways and chickens and beef and cows and fish and everything
by the
like
end
that.
Of this podcast.
So it's some crazy number where billions, because of how many there are domesticated, and then there's only like
and then we eat them.
A small portion,
what's happening?
Like let's say 8% of the animals on the planet are actually wild animals.
Okay, I'm going to need to see some proof on that because my brain cannot wrap around.
I told you I wasn't going to do a good job.
No, you're doing
it.
good. I'm going to look her up. It is thought provoking, but it makes me feel like this is something we should do something about.
And then the last one, our waste, right? Yeah. Not just our shit and piss.
I know.
But all of the garbage that we throw away.
Our carbon footprint.
Where is all of our carbon footprint?
That's what they call it. Reduce your carbon footprint.
Oh, you're cute.
Quit using all the plastic bottles that I don't know what else to. Anyways, keep going.
Where does it all go? What are we doing with it? And then what?
It's poisoning our earth.
Where are those landfills?
Everywhere. There are holes that are dug and then packed full of crap because that's okay. It'll be fine.
Do you even know locally where our landfill is?
I know two I do, actually.
Where?
It's out by Greenbox.
Okay. I think that is like the dump. But I'm talking like where does the...
Isn't that the same thing?
Garbage truck comes and picks up our garbage. And where does it go?
They do bury garbage out there.
Yeah.
They don't just collect it there and then retransport it somewhere else. So that is a landfill. Yeah. It is a dump and a landfill.
Yeah.
Is there some? What am I missing?
I know of a place out by Magcor out in the West Desert that I think is a big landfill place.
There is that.
What is that place?
I don't know. But I know there was they're all over. There's one. No, we don't have the names of it. You're proving the point of the things that go unknown.
We have no fucking idea. Because it's hidden.
They used to dump in the ocean. Do they still do that?
I'm
or
sure
they got
do
away
in
from
some
that?
places across this world, right? Maybe we don't. Well, I'd like to think we don't do it in this country,
really
but obviously we probably still do it in this country somewhere.
See, that's why it's so important to reduce the amount of waste that you use, because then we're at least doing some part to stop it from being buried. And our earth
it's not
poison.
any better. So we don't dump it in the ocean. Instead, we're just putting it on land. That's not any better.
No, it's not. That's why we need to reduce. What is that? Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah. Is this going to turn? I'm for that. There's only so much that I know how to do. You know what I mean? Like I'm for it. I practice where I can, but the amount, I can do so much. It's better.
It's a big,
so much better.
Like the idea and the concept that those three things, where we get our food, where our waste goes, and our energy, where does our energy come from? Those three things that we rely heavily upon, right? Mm-hmm. Like massively important, where...
there's some windmills or some water churning, but I don't understand the thing of it.
I think all of our energy probably here in Utah comes from coal comes from
You think comes
burning fossil fuels.
What about on the north end? I guess that's Idaho. That's not Utah. The
Yeah.
north end of Bear Lake, where they have that power plant right there.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting power from there.
Well, I know, but like, where does it go? Because it's from the water going through and churning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know.
wow.
All great questions.
They are absolutely thought-provoking. It's like I'm very surprised at the high level of ignorance that I actually have with that.
Ignorance makes you sound like you're turning a blind eye out of like obstinance in my mind.
I think
Naivety.
naivete.
There you go. Maybe that's a better description. Ignorance makes you sound like a jerk.
Well, kind of. If you think about it, like, I know that that's the thing. Like, what she's saying isn't brand new information. It's not like lightning bolts, for hell's sake. Like, that's obvious. But how much of how much time do we actually spend looking at that thought? Like you said, so it is turning a blind eye in a sense.
My thought too was, because that's a great question. How often how much time do we spend looking at that thought, which is almost none, right? Zero, zilch, nada. And so what? Like, what if we start looking at it and we start researching and we figure out, where our food comes from, where our waste goes, and where our energy comes from?
Yes.
Then what?
Then maybe we can make better choices.
You and I?
Yes, you and I. And then why not everybody? And then it's a choice. Like, if everybody takes a moment to look at it, maybe they make better choices. Maybe they don't. But the ones that do make better choices will have an impact. So why not?
So, for example, obviously we can do a garden. We can do a garden again this year.
Okay, I need you for that.
It sounded like you said Jew. She needs a Jew gardener, if anybody knows of one.
Jesus. Okay, we're going to move on quickly. I need you and your magic hands. I have, what is the saying? I have a green heart, but a brown thumb. I love the plants. I kill everything. I'm so glad our kids are here. Like, so I'm for a garden, but.
So that's one thing that we could do.
Let's do it. And compost. I want a composter.
Yeah, we can compost.
I want that so bad.
That's getting rid of our biodegradable waste, though.
It's not getting rid of it is getting rid of our biodegradable waste, which is still not clogging up landfills, even though I get all that. But then it's feeding the earth, and it's feeding the soil, making the soil nutrient rich, which then produces healthier food for us. So it's that beautiful, that's a word. It's a beautiful cycle that does zero harm. Mm-hmm. Zero harm. So it's lessening our intake of garbage because we have more ready, healthy food to eat, and then feeding the earth. So years from now, that pot of soil will be where can be a sustainable community, because thanks to us, they now have rich soil.
There you go.
So you're welcome. So it's planning for the future that we're not going to see.
I think when I think about the big picture of it, and the fact is that we don't know anything about all of these things, it also, in my mind, when I think about how fragile this system is, the system of food and water, like, for example, our water, right? Mm-hmm. We're lucky enough to live in a place where we can just turn on the faucet and get fresh, clean drinking water.
I think about that often.
All of these things in my mind seem very, very, very fragile.
Yes.
And only, one or two little things gone wrong, and suddenly it's mayhem and chaos because we no longer have this opportunity or this option or this thing, right?
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
scary.
It is scary.
Like, we think, well, what if we can't have waste removal? Meaning maybe our toilets still work, but suddenly they're no longer picking up our trash. And imagine after like 6 months of no trash pickup, what does that look like?
Destruction. And see, I think it's everywhere. I remember when burning trash was a thing. Okay.
I don't think you were alive during that time period.
Well, get ready to have your socks knocked off, mister. There's a landfill. There was, I believe it's covered up now, out in Terra. So that community was responsible for their own waste. So we would have to take it out there and dump. And there would be like the days you'd go to the dump. And there was also barrels where you'd burn what you could. So we didn't overfill the dump. My grandparents did the same when they moved up to, it's Indian Knolls, little town outside of Fairview. I remember burning trash. But I also know now that burning puts the extra carbons in the air and that's not healthy. And then all the shit that you're burning, they come up like you're poisoning yourself. So that's not a good idea. So I don't know. I don't know what to do now in a safe way if that's stopped.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to stop using so much shit.
We would have to stop, using so much stuff. I don't know. It's all just
Everything's disposable. It's arrogance.
Arrogance and
See, your phone went off.
Convenience.
It is convenience, but it's also arrogance.
Yeah.
It's like you can go to other parts of the world and that is not how they are living. It is arrogance.
You know where this conversation is leading me to?
I do not.
Not by choice. It wasn't
boy.
something that I had predetermined I was going to take it to this point, dear.
Well,
but
we follow the universe. Where are we going?
we need to get rid of things that we have so that we can minimize our imprint just by the sheer number of things that we have.
Okay. Here's a thought. By the fact of that I have this stuff here, I am saving it from being in the landfill. I am doing my part to not pollute outside. So F off. Mister. I am not getting look at that. Okay, so lint rollers are important. Those dried flowers up there, they're beautiful.
Hold on,
they're
baby,
not
don't
going
go
anywhere.
where-
See my statue? See
we
that
aren't
box
really-
that Stevie made me? Oh, my oils. Don't fuck with my oils
we're not
or
really
my
going
stones.
to go through our dresser and
Yeah,
tell everybody
we're not.
what's on it.
You already did. You started that. By the way, still can't see a Furby, so
4
screw
hours
off.
later. Hey,
Oh, you got to start some shit.
can you think of other things that we are oblivious to, that we don't really understand, and that we kind of,
Yes. Homeless.
homeless?
Mm-hmm.
Homelessness? The homeless problem?
They are, I believe that with the amount of availability for buildings and like small homes, communities, like so many people turn away and view homelessness as an illness, a disease, and just want to look away.
Laziness, maybe.
Laziness, right? All of the things, when those are actual humans out there, and to take part in the things that we just throw away, the waste. All the restaurants, the grocery stores, I know that there are some, like we were talking about this the other day, that do participate in donating the food that isn't getting used. Why is any food being thrown away? There should not be any food being thrown away. That can go to feeding, and not just the homeless, but people that have the house still, but don't have any food to put in it. There was a school, oh my gosh, I don't even know where it was, and that's sad because I've only seen about it one school that takes the leftover food from the cafeteria, and instead of throwing it out, they make like take-home meals for the kids there that are more in poverty, and they send food home with kids. Like, what the fuck? Why is this not an everywhere thing? How is this not? There are so many things that can so easily be done, and it takes no effort. It's more work to throw shit away and try and haul it away. We could be feeding our nation if we just stopped throwing away shit. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
I get a little bit on a high horse on that one.
You're okay.
Thank you.
We throw away food. It's frustrating when we do. We buy food and then it sits in the fridge and goes bad, and then we throw it away.
So I can see a difference with that. Not a difference, but a way we can do it different. I know that there are times that I specifically will not eat the food in the fridge, not because I'm like, excuse me, I don't eat leftovers. It's, I don't want to take food that somebody else is going to eat. Like, I'm saving it for you. I'm saving it for the kids. I want them to eat it. And then it goes bad. I'm like, oh, you little shits, just eat the food. So I don't want to take meals from you guys, even though I have a booty. So I'm getting enough meals. That's how a lot of things do go bad. Because I think somebody else is going to eat it. Somebody else is going to want it.
That's so silly. Just eat the food.
Well, I should.
Especially if you're hungry. If it's mealtime, eat it. So
But
that's
then-
a problem. Sorry, we're
Okay.
going to get squirreled on talking about our fridge and the way that we throw away food.
But we can
Homelessness
start.
by
Like you said, like not doing that, telling the kids this is what we're eating. And then if things gonna, like, how could we We can do, like, there's food banks won't take leftovers. Like, what can we do in that?
I don't know. Because first off, we don't have I was thinking if we have
that kind of resources here.
I don't think we have a homeless population in Grantsville because we're a pretty small town, but I can almost guarantee you that there are some people in this town that are homeless, meaning they're probably like sleeping in their car somewhere or doing, do you know what I mean? Even though I'm searching my brain to try to think of where they would be. But the next town over, Twilla, has a healthy homeless population.
Yes.
And so you want to go take our leftover food up to them and drop it off and give it to them in person? There's plenty of places where they hang out. You can just go give them our leftover food.
While you're being snarky about that, I have taken and stopped many times. And when I had more money, I gave money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will. I like followed the guy with no shoes until I realized that that's just what he did. And finally convinced him to take the $20 that I had because he wouldn't let me go buy him shoes, which is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would do it in person. I've done it in person many times.
So this lady, in the course of this conversation that she had with Russell Brand on, I'm going to tell you the name of his podcast at least. So then at least
Well, I want to hear her.
Skin.
I want to know what Under the Skin.
Under the Skin.
This is totally under my skin. Good name. It's not the podcast for the universe, but still, it's good.
And in the flow of their conversation, what they were talking about, and keep in mind, I'm going to butcher it because I only just saw a snippet of it online. They also got into the space of talking about, quote unquote, the Matrix.
Okay.
And the idea of, and maybe they didn't, maybe I just read into this because they said the Matrix or something.
You're like, Neo.
But I got squirreled in my head. And I don't think you and I have ever really talked in depth about the idea that we are living in some sort of simulation.
Jesus Christ, Craig, yes, you've brought it up several times. We have. Continue, please.
Have we?
Oh my God.
I don't know. Maybe not this year, not in the past 3
You're
weeks
right.
of 2020.
It is a brand new year. So now we've filled that void. We've already begun. So keep going, please.
Jerk.
I love you. I love talking about it.
Do you think we are? That whole idea of like, we are just a simulation or we are connected to some sort of, because if I think they were going off of the concept and idea that like we don't know shit, right? We don't know where our food comes from or all these kind of things. But
is that what she was talking about? Is it because there's no answer?
No, not at all. Because there's definitely answers, right? Some
so.
people know this stuff.
They're probably yelling at their car speaker right now.
But I don't think so. I don't think they were going off of necessarily that idea, but the idea of like, I don't know what the hell they were talking about.
Okay.
But in my mind, I don't know. Now I'm lost in my head because I'm trying to remember what I watched and the correlation with the Matrix, but I have it written down.
Oh, cool.
So
let's start with that.
No. I just have the Matrix, subconscious and conscious things that are hidden or kept hidden from us / society. That's my reminder note of this topic. And now I don't know why I brought up the Matrix, but are we living in one?
We could be. We're all connected, right? Do you believe that?
I do believe we're all
that.
connected.
So that could be all connectedness due to some systematic
thing
in my hand. Like I'm trying to like some programming in a sense. Not that, I'm not saying there's somebody up there with a big motherboard like doo, 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 doo. We're not plugs in the back. I mean, I don't know. You never know, right? Yeah. I don't think so, but I think it could be something like that very easily. How it's something, because if nothing is really there, like most of, oh my gosh, I want to say this clearly and I'm not going to be able to. Most of the things that we see, like everything, like we're looking at the walls, we're looking at the bed, we're looking at each other, we're looking at
your boobs.
They're got coffee on the shirt, but it's cool. So much of what we are actually seeing, what is it? It's like what is it? 0.999% or something of what is actually there. Everything else, like what we are seeing, what we are touching is like the space in between the space. Like it's just that tiny little bit. Everything else is not touchable. It's this frequency that is, you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No,
I know
no.
I'm getting it wrong,
No, you're
but
not.
you can
I'm getting
find it.
I'm following. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Everything else is like what we cannot see. It's the space in the matter.
Yeah.
We are touching and seeing the smallest of percentage of what actually is. So, of course, it could be a simulation because we only see that much. What was it? Was it Newton that came up with? No, it's not. What is it? Okay, somebody out there,
Einstein.
help me.
It was Einstein. I don't know.
I don't know.
But think
I'm
about
so
as
sad
we
that I
sit
can't
here
find it.
staring at each other, and there appears to be nothing in between the two of us, right?
Right?
Just air and
Just
space.
it's
Nothing between the two of us right now.
Mhm.
But if we had a microscope, or if we had the ability to like click our lenses on our eyelids, we could see all the shit that's floating in the air between us. And then if we could go even like smaller, microcosmic, right, we could see the nucleus, not the nucleus, is the protons and the neutrons and the ions and the electrons and all that atoms, all the atoms in the space between us. And then suddenly this space that appears to be clear between us is packed, chocked full of shit,
It could be solid.
right?
Like solid. There could be zero penetration. And then when you go through your thingy more, what's beyond that? And then what's beyond that? And what's beyond that? It
I don't
just
know.
keeps going. Like what are... I don't know. It's fascinating. So yeah. Simulation matrix.
Could be a thing.
I think so.
Definitely could be a
Whether
thing.
or not it's because AI is taken over and they've just like programmed us. I'm not sure that that's what it is, but if we can get out of that mindset and really look at what simulation is, our reality, who knows?
Yeah. I don't. We can talk about it on the podcast, but we
And
don't
maybe
have
that's
any
just something
answers.
to entertain humans. Maybe this is it. Maybe there's zero simulation. Maybe it's just like, oh, humans are bored. So here's all these thoughts. Because that's what they simulate us to believe.
That's what the computers told us. Don't look, I'm itching area of my body. Anyways,
So pretty.
out of those three topics, again, of the things that we turn a blind eye to,
Okay.
where we get our food, what happens with our waste, and where we get our energy.
Yes.
Which one do you find most, which one do you feel like you know the least amount about and you're kind of most curious and passionate about?
Oh. Probably. I think because energy creates everything, and all the things that we have is made from energy, which is also a waste that's gonna go with the food. I don't think you can separate it. I think they're all so intertwined. I guess energy is what I'll say, because it takes energy to create energy. It takes energy to create waste. It takes energy to create food, and it also, I feel like that is the main hub. So probably energy. And then
Where does our gas come from? Like when we go to the
Questar.
not our gas for our house,
Oh,
but the gasoline for our vehicles. Where does that come from?
I believe that comes from the Middle East wars that we have, so we can take oil and act like it's not about that.
I don't think so. Like our gas
What do you
here
think
local.
it is?
I don't know.
Oh, so you're not going from like,
I'm just
okay.
thinking about us. Like, yes, you can think about it in the grand scale, in the big scheme of things.
comes
but,
from Maverick.
right. So when we go to Maverick, which
Maverick
if you're not
headquarters.
from Utah, Maverick is just a gas station. It's a local convenience store.
Is Maverick unique to Utah? I don't think so. I think it's a...
You have to consider people listen to this podcast everywhere.
Okay. So,
Yeah, when we go to Maverick and get gas in the van,
yeah.
where does that gas come from?
Maverick headquarters. Sometimes Sam's Club.
Sounds cool. The
That's right. I don't know.
the energy
Mm-hmm.
is the part of me that I have the least knowledge on, right? I feel like I understand vaguely where our food comes from. I understand vaguely where our shit goes. But right now we have the recorder for this podcast plugged into the wall. Even just the simplest thing of like, I plug something into the wall, into the holes in the wall of my house, and suddenly the thing has power. I have no fucking idea how that works. I don't understand.
lines.
Right? What's in those power lines? I don't know.
Electricity.
Fucking magic. What's electricity? I don't know. How the
Great
fuck's it
balls of
created?
lightning.
None of this makes any sense to me.
What about light bulbs if they are burned out?
Oh.
I'll just leave it there. I'll just leave that little teaser right there. That little testy teaser.
Now I feel ignorant.
Oh.
That I have like I said, I have no idea how electricity works or the concept.
don't either.
I mean, I get the idea because I obviously plug shit in.
It's like, we know that it's powerful. We know that it's convenient. I think necessary, but it's really not. So it's convenient. And it's dangerous. And you have to be mindful of it so it doesn't.
That's not all we
you.
know about it.
Oh, excuse me.
Here comes the coffee.
Yeah. Thank God it wasn't. Never mind.
You're cute. Baby, all these inside jokes you're throwing, nobody's picking up.
I think they are. I think they know me well enough now.
But I would like to know where our power comes from. Like, I guess our gas, I can kind of grasp the concept and idea that natural gas is...
I thought you said grass. I had a hard time following that. Keep going.
I can grasp the concept and idea that our gas that fuels our house and heats our home comes from the earth in some way, shape, or form and is collected.
Natural.
And then, there's gas lines all over. Think about that. There's fucking gas lines all over the place.
Where does natural gas come from? Holy shit.
It comes
I
from...
feel stupid.
It's like...
I'm dumb. This information is not there.
Is natural gas created
I think it's
are we burning oil and then creating natural gas?
I think there's like pockets in the earth that they're tapped into.
That's what I think too, but that sounds really stupid.
It does, but is it like that scene from The Lion King when Pumbaa's talking about the balls of gas in the sky and Timon's like, that's stupid. Does it sound like, I think that might be it.
That there's just pockets of gas underground?
Yes.
I don't think that's it. That's what my brain thinks.
Can I just look real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Google.
Like in my mind.
Where does natural gas come from? It's going to say Uranus.
According to Wikipedia, natural gas is found in deep underground rock formations or associated with other hydrocarbon reservoirs in coal beds and as methane clathrates. Petroleum is another resource and fossil fuel found close to and with natural gas.
Okay. So we're kind of right.
Kind of, and it says most natural gas was created over time by two mechanisms, biogenic and thermogenic.
So
ask me what those are.
That was another thing that the lady talked about.
Okay.
She mentioned that we seem to forget that our natural gas or our petroleum, right? The oil that we go down to the depths of the ocean to grab.
It is finite.
It's
finite. Finite. How do you say it?
Finite?
It's finite.
Yeah, it's not infinite.
Yeah. So see how I always say finite? It's like it's infinite. It's not infinite. So
I think we have to
confused.
call this episode Dumbasses trying to figure shit out.
It's our own episode of Dumb and Dumber.
Because we can't speak.
Mock-ing.
But the thing she mentioned was all of that stuff, all of our natural gas and our petroleum, our oil and everything like that was organic material at some point because it's just decomposed dinosaurs and stuff that have been processed and,
tar pits.
Yeah, that's what it is. And we seem to forget that as well.
We apparently do.
Did you not know that?
I did, but I, like you said, seem to forget that. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a whole thing in school that they talk about that. I feel like this is information we have learned to a point.
Yeah. And then so if we're piped down in and we're grabbing natural gas out of the earth and sucking it up through a straw, does it go into some sort of holding tank somewhere or?
I don't think it goes in. I think so.
Because our gas, we have gas lines coming into our house that we tap into.
Yes.
Those gas lines have to go somewhere.
I think it's like a bottle of water or a bucket, like a barrel of water, a reservoir, that it's there. And then when we open it, yes, it flows out and taps into. So it's not like once you tap into it, it all goes boom.
They don't have a hidden reservoir of gas for our neighborhood.
I know that. That comes from a source. It's from all the pipeline.
Yeah.
So we're essentially standing on
just miles and miles, hundreds and thousands of miles of gas lines all over this country that could explode at any minute.
But not only is it just
Panicking,
all of the tunnels, we're weakening the structure of our crust, we're weakening the structure of our earth, and we're sucking out whether it's air, what's filling those. So we're creating a void. So at what point does the earth just implode? Or not? Implode. We're just going to all
asked
fall down.
too many questions.
We have. Now I'm like, great balls of lightning are my least concern. I'm like, we're
Right.
just going to fall through the floor at any moment.
I don't think
Onto
that's
the
as big of a
trash.
problem.
You don't?
No. Maybe we need to put the trash in the cracks and in the holes, and then that way...
I about lost the coffee.
I'm really curious
today.
about the gas,
Let's find out.
because I'm thinking like there's got to be a huge holding facility for gas somewhere, but that doesn't make sense either. That seems like really dangerous.
I think it's like a pump.
So then
It's
are
like-
they just pumping it up from underground and then feeding
Shooting
it
it through
into
the
the
pipes.
lines that come to our house?
I think so.
But then that doesn't make sense because, like, do you know what I mean?
On-off switch. That's why it's such a big deal when a pipe has
Because
a
if you think about
breach,
all the
then
gas
it
that
just
has to
goes.
fuel just our tiny little town,
Bigger pipes get smaller. It's like a body with a heart, the arteries, and the veins. Like the closer you are to the central pumping organism, like the aorta, that's big. But then you go down to the veins and the toes and the capillaries, and they're little. So I think it's size.
no.
Of course, man doesn't think it's size. See how I keep coming back? I am on fire today. You are
on
welcome,
fire.
listeners.
Be careful, gas lines. And then our power. Because
Yeah.
in theory, like
I don't think those are open pipes.
my smart brain, the electricity that feeds our house also comes from gas. But not like in a gas line way, but like somewhere the power plant, I think they turn, because they burn coal, which spins a turbine, right? And then the turbine
Maybe.
makes the electricity. I think that's how our electricity.
What if it's not? I mean, there is that. I think they can do that. But what if that's how like the original like got it going, like maybe from the cold state? Because you think about those radios that you can crank, those flashlights that you can crank.
Yeah.
So what if it's like this manual crank thing? But what if they use that just enough to get it spinning, and then it creates its own energy and it starts
Totally
powering itself, and then the excess power is what gets shot out to the homes.
Totally doesn't.
Are you sure?
I'm almost 100% certain.
I don't know. That feels kind of good to me.
That would be great, but I'm almost certain it's not.
That is my happy
Otherwise,
place
we
there.
wouldn't need coal.
Right. Well, we would in small amounts.
But
Except for cars, unless we get our Flintstone cars and we just
in your theory, the turbine that is spinning,
is self-powered after the initial start.
so then they would have been fine. Which doesn't make sense
Yeah, you're right.
because we're continuing to shovel
Well, why
coal
don't
into
we
it.
do that? That makes sense. Like, let's do that. I'm pretty sure I just solved it. I need to contact Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure that he wants me on his team. So,
Say, Elon, we have an idea for you. And you can show him that hand crank motion that you just did so that he'll get those two pieces together. Oh, yeah.
the visuals
Yes.
are what make the difference.
That's right, Stephanie. Somebody used to crank something and then gave power.
That's right.
Yeah. They're going to have a special
Quit making
room
fun
for
of
you
me.
at
Shut up. Is it
at
going to be
Elon's
rubber to
headquarters.
protect me from the lightning bolts?
Lightning balls. I wish I knew these questions. I wish I knew where the power plant was for our house.
You know the questions. It's the answers we don't have.
That's right. I wish I knew the answers to these questions.
The answers come from the right questions. So what are the right questions? Confucius say.
I don't even think if we found these answers, it would fix anything or change anything other than make me feel a little bit better that I am like smarter than our next door neighbor.
Which one?
You take a pick.
Eeny, meeny, miny, dumb. So what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Water's another one, right? Who knows where we get our water?
I think it's from the rain clouds. Mm-hmm. Dinosaur pee.
It's definitely dinosaur.
It's dinosaur pee.
So, all wonderful thoughts today on the podcast. You're welcome, listeners.
This was.
Is there anything else on your list you want to close out with, love?
No. I think we can just. Like, how many liquids do you really need to leave the house? I had that with when you made fun of me for taking the coffee and the water when we leave. 5-minute drive, but it's a 2-hour experience. So
Yeah.
I take
Steph is
two.
always prepared. She's definitely a Girl Scout. You never know. You might get stranded downtown Grantsville, and the zombie apocalypse starts,
I have water.
and you've got water and
For a
coffee,
moment.
so you'll be okay.
See,
Yeah.
it's about being. It's that forewarned is to be forearmed thing.
It all comes back
It all
around
comes
again.
back.
Circles. It's all circles. Everything's shapes and sizes and circles. It's sex time.
Is it?
It is 6 o'clock.
Podcast out.
Yes. Where are our bananas from, smartass?
The monkey lands. Bam, boom, kapowie.
Naivety. Naivety.
Naivete.
There you go. 3, 2, 1.
It's electric.
And I don't think you and I have ever really talked in depth about the idea that we are living in some sort of simulation.
Jesus Christ, Craig, yes, you've brought it up several times. We have. Continue, please.